All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's February 3rd, 2021. You are tuned into the MzeroManage Personnel Management Kiosk webinar. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, we are discussing the Personnel Management Kiosk, more specifically, its integration with MzeroManage, the remote management tool. For the kiosk. So just a little background on what the kiosk is if you're not already familiar. It is a temperature taking device. It does have the ability to perform facial recognition as well as just capture what we call stranger mode or guest mode events. So a user can approach the kiosk, have their temperature recorded or taken, and that event can be captured directly on the kiosk. A couple different variations in the form factor, size, height, and models. There's a traditional pedestal model. It's about 48 inches tall. The head does tilt back, and it does tilt down to accompany different in height, different varying people of height. I do have a child kiosk, child height kiosk, which is perfect for, I'd say, probably middle school and under. I've also heard some excellent things from healthcare and long-term skilled nursing, senior daycare, senior day centers, and care facilities is such that individuals or elderly in wheelchairs, mobility scooters tend to have a better time scanning in on the child height devices. The same 48-inch pedestal version with an additional LED ring. So this adds an additional LED illumination source at the base of the where the neck and the pedestal meet. This model also features a built-in voltage-controlled relay. So you have a actual real live working relay built into this unit into the underside of that LED lighting board. If getting the kiosk up off the floor or up off the desk is what you're looking for, we do have a wall mountable version. Kiosk can be mounted conveniently to a wall. I've had customers that have actually mounted it to a VESA, like an articulating monitor arm, like you'd mount a computer monitor, or in this case, the PMK temperature scanner, to really give you a broad range of heights and orientation and the ability to move it in and out of the way. And then certainly, last but not least, if portability, convenience, and a small form factor that fits on a desktop is what you're looking for, our desktop or countertop model features all those same benefits, but with a considerably shorter pedestal stand and a considerably smaller footprint on a desk or in a reception area. So we're talking about MzeroManage. So what is MzeroManage? MzeroManage is a cloud-based solution that allows you to connect your kiosks to the cloud to control some settings, to monitor reports, to pull reports, to view scans, add employees for facial recognition, and like I mentioned before, change settings remotely without having to physically interact with the device. So if you've got 2 or 3 of these devices in your organization, in your area, in your field, so to speak, you don't have any sort of networking between them, any management, if you want to make one setting change here in kiosk 1, you would then have to subsequently visit all other 5 or 6 kiosks in your location. Maybe they're in a different state, maybe they're in a different town. You wouldn't want to have to play phone tag with another IT department, another technician at your company to try and just get a simple setting change. So when you add these devices to the MzeroManage cloud platform, it gives you that remote ability to control and manage aspects of the kiosks themselves, of the database, and share that amongst all connected devices. So a couple features of the MzeroManage platform. I mentioned several times before about facial recognition. So of course, yes, you can build a database of faces of employees for recognition, so you can track specifically individuals. A log of temperatures, ability to export that log, save that log. Send an email alert for a high temperature. You can pull the scan reports from all connected kiosks, individual kiosks from the day, specific dates, custom date ranges, yesterday, the entire month, last 30 days. Just give you some ability to kind of custom tailor those reports so you can see who scanned in, what time, who was it, what was their temperature. Ability to determine if the kiosk is online, when the last time it connected to the server, is it connected now, has it updated recently. Configure application settings from your computer and then actually enact those changes and settings on the kiosk itself. The dashboard portal, which is just kind of a rolling security view where all the scans are updated in real time and they continue to populate, so you can see the most recent 16 or so scans as they come in. The ability to group kiosks, so individuals can only access certain groups or certain kiosks. So you can have, let's say you have a New York branch, and only individuals in the New York branch will be able to see the New York kiosks, and so forth with Florida. Only Florida can see Florida. So you can group that and set permissions accordingly. And then it does have the ability to switch off the local storage on the device and just use the cloud storage. So currently all our standalone customers who are just using the device without the cloud software, all those scans, all those records, all that information is being kept on the device. With MzeroManage, you have the ability actually to switch that off, and upon a successful and immediate scan upload, cloud upload with that scan, then you'd be able to just delete it immediately off of the device itself, and it will not hang out, so to speak, on the local device storage. So you can just get it up to the cloud, get it secured behind the cloud, and then if you're afraid someone's going to run in and snatch that head unit or snatch that 30-something pound kiosk out of the front lobby, then you can rest assured that the scans, temperatures, and sensitive information has been removed upon successful upload to the cloud. If you are doing facial recognition, I'm not going to go through 100% what you need to do, but I will touch the big ones. This is the biggest parts here. Photo example here, passport style photo, government ID style photo. We need to see from the tip top of the head to the neck, bottom of the chin at least, and then from ear to ear. This perfect example right here, using my rule of thirds, lower half, lower third of the picture is the mouth, chin, neck area. Middle third is going to be the eyes, the nose, parts of the ear, and then the top third is going to be the forehead or the hairline. It must be a JPEG or a PNG, portable network graphic. It has to be. If you're doing the bulk upload, which is where you would prepare a record set of employees ahead of time, and then you would gather pictures, you need to name the individual. So this guy's name right here was Tim Johnson. In my set, I'd have his name, Tim Johnson, and his VIP or employee ID as 1999. So when my process runs and I upload my bulk upload, the system's going to look for a photo named 1999.png or .jpeg, and it's going to associate that photograph with the name in that record. So, Tim Johnson, 1999, and it's going to marry and pair those two together. So this photograph will be associated with the correct name as typed in your upload document. Photos do not need to be any bigger than 500 kilobytes. Same thing for resolution, no larger than 4,000 by 2,600 pixels. So this example here is about 700 pixels wide and about 1,100 pixels tall. That is perfect. It is all about the subject in the photo, not the size. So a good, accurate photo showing all points of the face for accurate recognition are key. If you ladies have bangs, they might want to side sweep them or perhaps pull them back for accurate scan. No long hair over the face. Do not take photographs with masks on. What we call the profile photo should be maskless, no mask. Users wearing glasses are fine as long as there's not a very bad glare. If there's a big glare where all you see is little white light specks, lens artifacts, things like that, then that would prevent accurate recognition because you've got a big bright white light. Another thing, just orientation. No glamour shots. No looking over your shoulder. No head tilted to the side like the RCA dogs from the advertisements back in the day. We need straight, looking right into the lens of the camera. Again, just mimic this example here, on level with the camera lens, looking right in. Background, no noisy background. I would certainly not want to go take this in front of a very fancy paisley print wallpaper or a wallpaper with a lot of geometric designs. I have seen brick walls as backgrounds, and I haven't had an issue. But my professional advice, my professional opinion would be find a plain, nondescript white or gray or that kind of industrial schoolhouse yellow that most state and other individuals are, using for a generic paint template. And then last but not least, no more than 20,000 faces per kiosk device, and that's more a software slash resources slash CPU limitation. All right, so we do have an extensive startup and video library. When you get your device, when you're starting to go through the motions, when you're starting to get into it, when you're starting to go on, all right, let's go ahead and get it set up. Or maybe you're thinking about getting managed, or you're thinking about purchasing the PMK. I would advise you go ahead to the website under MeridianKiosks.com. One of the top menu bar items right at the top towards the middle of the screen is going to be the temperature screening kiosk. Under there, you'll find resources, you'll find FAQs, you'll find videos, webinar past links, so on and so forth. I do urge you to check those out. Those are definitely handy resources. All right. So a couple different portals. There's two portals that you'll interface with or you'll interact with. For the most part, there's the Manage Server portal, which is this black and green banner right here. This is where you add the kiosks, where you'll actually add the kiosks by their IDs, by their kiosk ID designator, and you'll get them communicating with the server. You'll manage permissions of devices. You'll manage email alerts, so on and so forth. So that's your manage server, manage.meridiankiosk.com. And then we have personnel.meridiankiosk.com. So this is what we call MzeroManage View. You'll notice the gray and kind of blue and white screen here. This does all of the viewing you need to do, hence MzeroManage View. But no, viewing your scans, viewing your information, adding employees, editing those records, doing the bulk upload. All this is going to take place in the Personnel.Meridian Kiosk, or the MzeroManage View web portal. This is where you're going to pull those reports. This is where all that information is going to pool to. So we'll talk about a little bit about as you begin to purchase MzeroManage or your kiosk in general. There are a couple of different support packages and kind of like a startup package, I guess you might want to call it. What we will refer to as the onboarding package. So the onboarding package is designed for someone who has purchased a PMK unit. So you've got your physical kiosk. Maybe you've used it in the field and you're just now finding out about Manage. Maybe you haven't and you've purchased them all together. Doesn't matter. That onboarding session is an hour designed to walk you through the features, suggested usage, suggested settings, maybe particular settings as they might pertain to your locale, location, environment, so on and so forth. But then again, that's a one-on-one or one-on how many members of your team you deem need to join or need to be privy to this information, to this onboarding. But essentially, that's a one-on-one hours-long session with a technician from our team, and they will sit there and get you up and rolling, go through any questions. Most of these onboarding sessions, we can get you set up and going very quickly, barring there's no network or other restrictions that might apply to firewalls and things like that. Of course, when you sign up for the package and you get your onboarding information, there's a little bit of information there about what you need to do to make sure you're in the right position to get started, and if you have issues, how to reach out and how to kind of get everything, all the ducks in a row before that onboarding session begins. We have a 1 minute. We have a one session, 20-minute training session. 1 minute, that'd be a quick one, wouldn't it? No, so it's a single 20-minute training session, and that's more geared towards the physical usage of the device. If questions about Manage do come up, or you have a lot of Manage questions, It could be geared towards that. However, we do recommend the onboarding package for the new users and new clients that are using the MzeroManage package. But yeah, 20-minute training session. That's going to go over some of the functionality of the physical tablet, some of the setup, maybe some settings. If you had a question like, hey, can I do this? What Android features this? How do I hook up a Bluetooth speaker so I can hear the alarms across the lobby? Things along those lines. That's it's more geared towards some physical interaction with the kiosk unit, but it is 20 minutes for you to work one-on-one or one-on your number of team members to kind of go over the unit. There are additional support plans for it. So with the purchase of the unit, purchase of manage, you are accessing the free, or in this time, excuse me, you are accessing the 8 to 5 Eastern Time Support Center. That is both with phone, email, online ticketing system, knowledge base, all that is included. As we get up to the PMK Select plan, that changes. Let me pull up my information sheet here, and I'll tell you exactly how that changes. One second. All right, I'm gonna pull it off of the screen so you guys don't have to see a big blob of text. All right, so our PMK Select plan, it does include all those free options that you get with the purchase of the unit. That's the online, the email, the phone support, the online ticketing system, the knowledge base, the help desk files, all that good stuff. And it includes 60 minutes per unit of after-hour support. That excludes weekends. I'm sorry, that excludes holidays. So, and weekends, you get after-hour support. You get that additional after-hour support for the PMK Select. No weekends, no holidays. But if you have a RMA, a return, then you also get free return ground shipping. So we'll ship it back to you, return ground shipping on our dime. PMK Premium, basically the exact same as PMK Select, email, hotline, online ticketing system, phone support. You get 120 minutes, or that's 2 hours of after-hour support, no weekends, no holidays. So you basically double the amount of time that you have for support after hours with these units, and return ground shipping. And then last but certainly not least is the PMK Premium Plus support plan. So this includes broken record, but no, this includes online, email, hotline, phone support, ticketing system, the knowledge base, all those good resources and ability to open tickets and receive support, plus the 2 hours of after hours support. And this does, I'll say it again for the people in the back, this Premium Plus plan, a lot of P's, does include holidays and weekends of after hours support. So even if it's 8 a.m. on a, what's our next big holiday? Easter, or what do we get? Anyway, next big U.S. holiday, if everybody else is closed and you have a problem with your PMK and you have Premium Plus, you will get support on those holidays and those weekends and those nights. This also includes 2-day return shipping. So if it's across the continental United States where ground might take 5 days, you will get that 2-day shipping included for any replacements, as well as a guaranteed 48-hour turnaround time on head unit replacements. That's included with the PMK Premium Plus support plan as well. And this really is just the kicker for the deal. It does include an on-site tech visit, one standard on-site tech visit per plan per kiosk. So that alone can be a $200 to $250 value in and of itself. That alone can be up to $250 for tech to come out. That is included with that plan. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's new, what's coming up. The biggest thing that's really coming up new since January was it's going to be the new software working. So there's some concern about facial recognition, laws, schools, when can I use it, certain states, certain municipalities, etc. So we are in the process of finalizing a version of the software that will strip out facial recognition altogether. So if it's a concern of yours that you can't have facial recognition, you don't want anything to do with it, you don't even want to talk about it, you don't even want to think about it, we're coming up with a software solution for the PMK. It would just be a download like anything else. It would just be no facial recognition. It would still be able to detect when somebody walks in front of it. You'll still be able to take a picture, still be able to take a temperature, still log all that information. There will just be no facial recognition aspect to it at all. Gone, not there. So you don't have to legally have that that weight on your shoulders if that's the case. We are working towards adding some more access card badge system integration support. That is being tested now. So if using access cards and badges and you have one of the few we don't automatically support, or the device doesn't automatically support out of the box, some more integrations with access control types or access control badges and badge types is under development. So now, as we near the end, or we are at the end of the main presentation, let's see, we're going to open it up for questions. So I'm going to stop talking here for a second, and we'll see if we have any questions, and I'll get those questions answered as they pop up. All right, so just give it a few more seconds here. I haven't seen anything pop up in the question field. Maybe you're a slow typer. Maybe you're thinking of a good question to ask. So I'll give it a few more seconds here. And if there's no more questions, we'll wrap it up for the day. All right, so we did have a question. All right, so we've had issues with the report populating. So issues that might cause reports. So that would be your scan information coming from the kiosk to the cloud. A couple things I would definitely want to check first would be the last contact time for that device under manage server, manage.meridian kiosk. I want to make sure that something is not preventing the WebSocket connection for authentication. That's what actually talks to the server, stays open, says, hey, I am Tyler's kiosk. I belong here. I need to send scans. I would make sure that that last contact is being updated. Every 59 minutes, if there's no scan or no activity, it will do a heartbeat. So I would make sure that within at least the last 59 minutes that there's been a heartbeat. And that, and I will note, if you are checking that right now, that's in Pacific Standard Time. So Eastern Time, it's 4:23 p.m. So if it was 1:23, or it is given in military time, 13:23 Pacific Standard Time, which would be 16:23 Eastern, then you could check to see within the last 59 minutes, has there been a heartbeat? If it looks like it's doing a heartbeat, and it looks like that the connection's staying open and active, I would then want to check my scanning settings. So a lot of people will have stranger mode turned off, and if they're not using facial recognition, or they are using facial recognition, somebody hasn't been added to the system just yet, and guest mode is not enabled, then it will not record that event. So if you're missing some scans, or you're missing all of them, I would want to check the stranger mode, stranger entry, if you're not using facial recognition, and then make sure your callback setting is turned on. If you're still having issues, you can open a support ticket via the website. If you go to the meridiankiosk.com, you locate temperature scanning kiosk. Under resources or FAQ, it's on both pages, you'll see Meridian Help Desk. Go ahead and click the big green button that says Meridian Help Desk and follow the prompts to log a ticket. Be sure to include administrator name, and if you are with an organization or a company, you can include that too. It can make it faster to find your account. So certain individuals are scanning. Okay, just follow up to that. Certain individuals are scanning, but do not show up on the report. So that again, that could be a guest setting, could be the stranger record if you don't have it on, or in some cases where some guests are coming through and some are not. If colder environments, if somebody's wearing a big hat, big mask, they got their jacket zipped up and their hood on all the way, it might have a hard time designating that this is a face. If it can't see the chin, if it can't see the neck, then it's going to say, is this really a person? It's the device is looking for depth of field. It's looking for the depth on the face. And if you can't find that, if it's having a hard time ascertaining whether or not this is a person, then it might give you, it might not scan. Or in certain cases, someone's not orienting themselves to the device appropriately. So when they're not orienting themselves to the device appropriately, they might just keep hearing their temperature and they're not seeing the admittance screen or they're not seeing the admittance badge. But it might behoove you to go ahead and just open up a ticket, provide some information, and then our help desk can definitely take a look at that for you. I'm getting a lot of employees coming up under the wrong name. This can be one of two things. So the device, when you add faces to the device, whether it be locally or whether it be through the cloud, specifically through the cloud, it will reject poor quality images. So a lot of times that can be the case, or you need to turn on facial similarity confidence. You need to turn that up. Again, I would say that should be pretty easy thing for the help desk to walk you through, send a couple screenshots, but it might involve retaking a couple photographs of individuals, because if the kiosk rejects it altogether because it's poor quality, then it's like their face is not enrolled, and it would try to find the next possible match. All right, so you did take pictures directly on the device itself. So then we might need to adjust that facial similarity confidence level. If you go to General Settings, the General Settings tab on MzeroManage View, I believe it's about a third to halfway down the page, Facial Similarity Confidence Level. It's a mouthful. Default is 80. I would try going up by 2 to 5. So let's try 82, try 85 out of 100, and just increase it slowly and see if you can get a little better accuracy. What do I recommend? So I would recommend starting with 85 and then increasing it if you're still not getting the result you need. That being said, that can add a second to scan time. All right, let's see. Yep, and you're welcome. There's definitely a couple things that could be going on there. That is we'll just wait for any more questions to kick in, but I will kind of give you guys a little heads up on some of the facial recognition stuff. In that photo example I shared several slides back, that is why it is so crucial to get the best quality images on the or for the profile for the device for facial recognition. It is super crucial to get the highest quality, and then especially where you take the photograph too. You want the lighting to be good. Now, I'm not saying go out and spend $800 on a brand new digital single lens reflex Canon XL Rebel. You know, I'm by any means not saying to go out and do that. Ample quality pictures have been and can be taken with a webcam. Just a simple, what is this? HP EliteBook webcam that I'm sitting right here. See, so yeah, you can, the photos on the device itself will suffice. That there's nothing wrong with that. I would just make sure if you're doing the direct kiosk, or let's say in this case photo to kiosk picture taking, I would just make sure that there's no super bright light directly overhead of the sensor at the time of picture, that there's no weird backlighting creating any shadows or any type of what might look cool in a Marvel movie, as far as lighting and effects. We want to make sure that we don't have any of that going on in our profile photos for facial recognition. All right, I'll leave it open for a few more seconds. Another good one. How about minimum distance for recognition? In the lab here, we have 1.5 feet set. I can't remember what they come default. It used to be 2. They might have defaulted back to 1.5. But I would say with the average height adult, if you were to put your arm directly in front of you, don't reach forward, but just stand straight and slowly put your arm out, kind of like when the doctor has you check for a rotator cuff tear or a biceps tendon um, tear, and they're going through the exam. Just put your arm straight out in front of you. Your middle fingertip should be about 1 inch away from the device. So about arm's length and just a little bit longer, just so you can't touch it. All right, so we got time for maybe 1 or 2 more. I'll leave it open. We'll see if any more questions roll through. All right, guys. We will wrap it up here. Some good questions today. Again, if you have any questions, you feel free to peruse or view the old frequently asked questions on the website. Again, if you go to the meridiankiosks.com web page, the main website, the .com, the top level domain, towards the middle of the menu bar, you will see temperature screening kiosks. I just say start at features. Go ahead through the FAQs, look at resources, look at the video library, look at past webinars. I'm one of those guys, anytime I buy something, even before it's even shipped, I've got the manual, I'm looking at it, I'm dissecting it, I'm ready to get it home, unbox it, and install it. So I would definitely advise immersing yourself in the knowledge bases and in the support materials that are out there. Well, since that is it for today, I thank everybody for joining, everybody for asking good questions, and I believe our next one is going to be, I have to get a calendar out. I believe it will be March 3rd. It's 28 days this go around in February. So we'll be having our next monthly webinar March 3rd. And if I'm dead wrong on that and I can't add up my days in a month, we'll, of course, have that email blast come out to remind you guys. So without further ado, you guys have a good rest of the afternoon into the evening, and we will catch you next time.